from New Jersey / Philadelphia to the 12 tribes worldwide. This is all of us coming together for a moment to break open the Word and look at what thus says Yahweh. I want to talk to you for a minute about counsel. Where are you getting your counsel from? Is it good counsel? Is it bad counsel? Should we be going to get counseling from the certified counselor because there's something wrong in our brain? Should we go to a Christian counselor? Should we use the book as a counselor? Should we go to our pastor? Because the way things are unfolding, everybody thinks they have advice. People will often get on the phone and talk to someone and say, this, blah, 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 and then they expect advice, counsel. Unfortunately for us, most of us are taking counsel from people that don't know Torah. And because of that, they're getting bad counsel. And they're headed in the wrong direction. Most of us think that because we go to church, we think that that's our counsel. We listen to the pastor preaching, and maybe we taking notes, and we're believing that that's sound counsel. So, what does this mean to receive counsel? And so I want to look at one chapter, not a big chapter, not a very, I want to say not a deep chapter, but I think it is a deep chapter. Psalms 1. Really is very short, but it gives us a lot of meat in that chapter. Someone read that. It's really kind of to the point. Somebody, come on.
You want to do it?
I'll read. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law, or the Torah, of Yahweh. In the Torah does he meditate both day and night. And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth fruit in his season. His leaf shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. The ungodly is not so, but are like the shaft which the wind driveth away. Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous. For Yahweh knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish. Pretty short, pretty straight to the point, right? So I said, there's got to be something more, there's got to be more meat to this than just what meets the what you first run into when you first look at it. So I said, let's look at the words and dive into it a little bit. What does it mean to be blessed? Yahushua said, blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Right? Blessed, blessed, blessed. You read through the scripture and throughout the Old Testament, there's thousands and thousands of times that the word bless pops up. Right? What does it mean to be blessed?
Hey,
what does it mean? That's
shalom.
Hi, shalom. So what does Psalms 1, what does it mean to be blessed? Open the floor up. Somebody help me out.
Well, everything comes back to covenant, so it's like if you look at the covenant, it tells you what it means to be blessed. You see where he says if you look at just the verse, you'll inherit the earth, your storehouses will be full, you'll be the head and not the tail. Like, he explains what that's part of the blessing. And it's not always in this earth, it's also an eternal blessing. So it's like levels to blessing.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that? What do you think? What is it? That word blessed. What does that feel like to you?
Taking from Psalms 1, I'm visually set apart.
Okay.
Being blessed to cover and have that relationship with the Father, whereas we're awake or we know who we are versus those that do not know or living a life that's not according to Torah. So blessed to have knowledge of Him, of who He is to us.
So what's the verse? First verse. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. First half of that verse. Right? So I wanted to see what that meant. And I looked up the word bless. And the word bless is ashar. Ashar, the Hebrew word ashar. The root word. The primitive root word, ashar. From the Strong's, ashar. Now check this out. To go straight, to walk, to advance, move, to progress, to walk straight, right? To lead, to direct, right? So it's basically saying if you're walking in the right path. And we're going to find that there's a area that tells us that somewhere in the script, we'll go there soon, it says to walk, not to veer off to the left or to the right, but stay on the straight and narrow. We remember Yahushua said, narrow is the way that leads to everlasting life, and few there are that find it, and broad and wide is the way that leads to destruction, and many go that way, right? So, bear with me for a second, I'm going to pull something up. Make sure that I have the, okay. Estar, from the Strong's Concordance, 8335. And the word it's a masculine noun. And this was the original word because there were two words that I went back to the root word. But the word that's described in Psalms 1, it means happy, just blissful. That's the kind of life that you really are missing. What's that song that they played at my buddy's church, right? He sang it. If you want to be happy for the rest of your life, a stupid happiness, happy song, right? We don't know what true happiness is, but true happiness is found here in not taking ungodly counsel. So I walk through this, and so basically I want to be, all of us want to be content, right? Scriptures, Paul Shaul says, I've learned to be content in every stage, whether I have base or whether I abound, whether I got a whole lot, whether I've got a little. I've learned to be content. That's a hard walk sometimes because we see other people with a whole lot, We see other people with a whole lot of money. We see people with a whole lot of talent. We see people that can break the word open and just divide it, and it's like, how did you get that, right? Or that Lauren was talking about singing. Someone can sing better. Like, the voice I have just doesn't take me there, right? How do we gain contentment, right? So we're going to find this. We're going to search this out. So, all right, so since it wasn't that much, I'm like, just read through the words. What does it mean to take counsel? Blessed is he that walketh. Blessed is the man that does not take counsel from the wicked. So what does this mean to receive counsel? So what is the Hebrew word for counsel? Estar. And so I'm looking this up. I'm like, there's a lot of, it's referred to like over 800 times in the Old Testament. What does Estar mean? Taking counsel, purpose, advice, and this can come from a good person, but it can also come from a wicked person. If you're taking counsel from the wicked, why would you take counsel from a person that you would consider wicked? No one in their right mind thinks, like, I'm gonna go, oh, this guy just killed his children. Let me ask them, how do you raise kids, right? You wouldn't even think that, right? You wouldn't think of going into seeing someone that's wicked and asking for advice. So I'm like, well, why would you even throw that out there? So that takes me to the word wicked. And what would we, when we get to the word wicked, and I've been doing a lot of Strong's study today, right? So Strong's 7563, and the word is Asher. R-A-S-H-A. I'll say, no.
Rashah.
Rashah.
Root word Ra, which is evil.
Huh?
Root word Ra, which is evil or dysfunctional.
Yes. Now, the root word is Ra, right? Don't want to play it, okay.
Strong's page 7563.
Rashah. Okay, so now listen to the outline of the biblical use of this word. Wicked criminal. A, guilty one guilty of a crime. A wicked. And a wicked guilty of crime. So, just downright, like I said, someone killing your children, and then you're coming and asking for advice. Why would you even think that he would even put that there? Blessed is the man that does not take counsel of a wicked person.
I think those that are outside of, or I guess either maybe they practice that, seeking like soothsayers and
Yeah, I like that. Seeking the soothsayer.
yeah,
Right? Which we would consider a wicked person. Right? But we would go to people would go to a soothsayer for advice. Who else would we use as counsel? I like that word, counsel. Who else would we use for counsel to help us out?
psychic celebrities.
That's what I was thinking. People take marital advice from Steve Harvey.
Okay, so we take
Or Oprah.
We were talking about that.
right.
Yeah.
Who's
Bernard married
I only know how many times you've been married.
3.
3 times, right? And that's the person that you
You're
take
good.
advice for, right? How's this one? How many of us have taken advice from a lawyer? A counsel? What would the judge say? Councilman, what do you have to say? Right? They use the word counseling, right? Anybody know an honest lawyer? Right? Downright wicked. You don't think they're wicked? Ask Donald Trump. Right? His counsel just surrendered for 8 accounts of wickedness. Right? But that's the first thing we go to, right? Somebody did you wrong. The building fell on you. You had an accident. Call such and such. 1-800. I'll fix anything. Right? And you're dialing that 1-800 because this lawyer, I don't care what he does, as long as he pay me. As long as he get paid, I get paid. Right? So check this out. The strongest definition of a morally wrong person that's condemned but not found guilty. I mean, I'm reading through some of these adjectives that they describe. Like, we know a lot of people that are guilty but find themselves not guilty, right? So here we are, we see a police officer shoot somebody down, right? Let's go back and look at the tapes. When they get done, 90% of the times, that officer finds himself not guilty. They find him not guilty. That's wicked. All right. So, I tell you, we should keep the 10 Commandments. You say, let me go talk to my fellow Christians and ask them, should we keep the 10 Commandments? They end up talking to each other, and you come out with, I don't think we really have to keep all of them, because that's done away with. All right, so let's walk with me real quick. Proverbs chapter 4. Let's look at this counsel for a minute. Because there's a lot of people taking counsel from a lot of people that they shouldn't be taking counsel from. Proverbs 4. Let's read.
Hear, you children, the instruction of a father, and attend to no understanding. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not my Torah.
Okay, so right off the jump, he's going to start giving us good counsel, right? He says, the first thing he's going to tell you, don't forsake the law. Continue. We're going to make our way through this verse, this chapter.
For I was my father's son, tender and only beloved son in the sight of my mother. He taught me also and said unto me, let your heart retain my words, guard my commandments, and live. Get wisdom, get understanding, forget it not, neither decline from the words of my mouth. Forsake her not, and she shall guard you. Love her, and she shall keep you. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all your getting, get understanding. Exalt her, and she shall promote you. She shall bring you to honor when you embrace her. She shall give to your head an ornament of grace, a crown of glory shall she deliver to you. Hear, O son, O my son, and receive my sayings, and the years of your life shall be many. I have taught you in the way of wisdom, I have led you in the right paths. When you go, your steps shall not be straitened, and when you run, you shall not stumble. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go, guard her, for she is your life. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men.
Okay, so before we go any further, guard it, right? Verse 14.
Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men.
We've heard over and over again, and I'm going to say it again. Come out from amongst them and be ye separate. You can't find yourself blending and mixing and enjoying the company of the ungodly and expect to get good counsel. You're going to get wicked counsel from wicked people. Continue.
Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away, unless they cause some to fail. For they eat the bread of wickedness, and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the just is as the shining light, that shines more and more unto the perfect day. The way of the wicked is as darkness, they know not at what they stumble.
So the issue is, what verse are you at?
19.
19. The way of the wicked is as darkness, and they don't know why they're stumbling. You ever been in a room so dark? Everybody get up in the middle of the night and gotta go to the bathroom, and you got stuff on the floor tripping. You only know what you're tripping over. You're like, oh, what is that? Who left that there? Right? If you got little kids, everybody's experienced this, right? The toy is on the floor, and you, oh my God, you want to cuss, but you can't because you're righteous, right? So, and you make your way to the bathroom, and sometimes you stumble on the way back, right? Some people walk that, and then these are the ones that we want to come and get advice from. They're wicked in even in their establishment and the way they walk. Continue. Verse 20.
My son, attend to my words, incline your ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from your eyes. Guard them in the midst of your heart. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Put away from you a forward mouth, and perverse lips put far from you. Let your eyes look right on, and let your eyelids look straight before you. Ponder the path of your feet, and let all your ways be established. Turn not to the right hand nor to the left. Remove your foot from evil.
All right, and so here I talked about this: turning to the left nor to the right. Right? Deuteronomy 5. Let's go there. We're going to be done in a few minutes. Deuteronomy 5. Davrin.
That's Deuteronomy.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't need to read the whole book. Let's start at 22. These are the words of Yahweh.
These words Yahweh spoke unto all your assembly in the mount, out of the midst of the fire, of the cloud, and out of the thick darkness, with a great voice, and he added no more. And he wrote them on 2 sapphire stones, and delivered them unto me. And it came to pass, when you heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, for the mountain did burn with fire, that ye came near unto me, even all the heads of your tribes and your elders. And you said, Behold, Yahuwah Elohim has showed us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that Elohim had talks with man, and he lives. Now,
I've got a question before we go any further. So this is when he's given us the Ten Commandments, right? So the mountain was on fire, right? But it says his voice came out of the darkness of the mountain. So how come the mountain's dark but it's on fire? Verse 22. I just had that question pop across my mind, 23, because it came to pass that when we heard the voice out of the midst of the darkness, some dark fire. So I'm sorry, it's just me, right? Because most of the time in fire doesn't bring darkness, right? Fire brings light, right? So how come there's fire but there's darkness? So that's just the question. Sometimes you see something and it makes you question, right? There is something there, but we'll move on. Where are you at? 24.
And ye said, Behold, Yahuwah our Elohim has shown us his glory and his greatness. We have heard his voice out of the midst of the fire. We have seen this day that Elohim talks with man and he lives. Now therefore, why should we die? For this great fire will consume us. If we hear the voice of Yahuwah our Elohim any more, then we shall die. For who is there of all flesh that has heard the voice of the living Elohim speaking out of the midst of the fire as we have and lived? Go near and hear all that Yahuwah our Elohim shall say, and speak you unto us all that Yahuwah our Elohim shall speak unto you, and we will hear it and do it. And Yahuwah heard the voice of your words when you spoke to me, and Yahuwah said unto me, I have heard the voice of the words of this people, which they have spoken unto you. They have well said all that they have spoken. Oh, that there were such a heart in them that they would fear me, and guard all my commandments always, that it might be well with them and with their children forever.
Okay, so first, Yah listens to the people, and he says their voice is right. The words are right, but their heart's not right. If their heart stays right, they can live forever. If they fear me, like they feared him for a minute. And the issue that we have today is that we have people that don't fear Yah. They have lost the fear, the reverence. There's no fear at all of him because he hasn't put people in the corner, right? He hasn't put people on the penalty box. He hasn't put people in. And so because of that, people are like, man, y'all talking about that God thing. He ain't gonna do nothing. He's almost like he doesn't exist anymore. They've lost the fear of him. And so now when you see judgment coming, they don't attribute that to him. They say Mother Nature. They say anything but. They say anything but him. It's a natural disaster. When they see their people dying in the streets, oh, it's a disease. They name it on anything but him. No one wants to get up in the pulpit and say, judgment is on this land. Judgment is causing California to burn. Judgment is causing your people to lay out in the street and die from all types of drug overdose. Judgment is coming and causing your people to kill their own family and kill themselves. Judgment, judgment. No one wants to speak on judgment because when you start speaking on judgment, you're starting to address the mighty one that's causing this to happen. Oh, you're saying, no. You have turned the fear of Yah into something that it's not. And so now you don't even want to act like it's him. It's Mother Nature. It's anything but what it is. And Yah is pouring out his judgment today, and it's going to come even more. Go ahead, Rob.
Go say to them.
Where are we at?
30.
Deuteronomy 5:30.
Go say to them, get you into your tents again. But as for you, stand here by me, and I will speak unto you all the commandments and the statutes and the judgments which you shall teach them, that they may do them in the land which I give them to possess it. You shall guard to do therefore as Yechezk'el has commanded you. You shall not turn aside to the right hand or to the left.
Here we go again.
You shall walk in all the ways which Yechezk'el has commanded you, that you may live, and that you may be well with you, and that it may be well with you, and that you may prolong your days in the land which you shall possess.
Okay, so thank you for dealing with, for being patient with me, because this is, like I said, it's a preview of what we're going to talk about on Shabbat. And the let's go back there, Psalms 1. So blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the seat of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of scornful, but his delight is in the law of Yah. So his delight is in Torah. A godly person's delight should be in Torah. A godly person's delight is in the law. A godly person's delight is in the law. An ungodly, I'm going to make this real clear, an ungodly person's delight is destroying the law. A godly person's delight is in the law. So when you start telling people, don't pay attention to the law, don't pay attention to what is in the book, you're actually telling people to turn away from God as opposed to turning to God. Our goal in this ministry is to speak the word and draw people back to turn to Yah and not from Him. So we'll pick it up next week as we talk more about taking a stand for Yah, standing with Him and not against Him. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.